It's a Spotify podcast. Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the show. I wanted to mention two things real quick. One, if you see a disruption with these videos going up and down on YouTube, Google's giving Williamson County, somehow they've got backdoor access and to get into my stuff. They're deleting documents off my drive. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They're trying to hack my website. I've got it locked down now. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you is I'm going to keep posting those. But two, I'm on multiple platforms. So I'm on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, everything. We're everywhere. But the other thing is that if you do like the video, please subscribe and like it. It really would help us. We're in infancy stages. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the show.
You pushed me down, thought I'd stay on the ground, counting me.
One, we are live.
Welcome, welcome.
What's up, brother?
Another day, another dollar.
Gone or made?
Unfortunately, gone.
Gone. How's life been treating you?
Oh, fair.
Fair?
Yeah. Got pretty deep into a recruiting scam. So I got got an email from a recruiter. Sounded legitimate. Sounded legit. Header was visually good, and I didn't probe deeper, and we went back and forth. The upside is...
Did you pay him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, so it started as a recruiter for a company, and, I checked the company, I checked the person's name, was a legitimate recruiter at the company.
Right.
Sent my resume to him. Actually gave really valid feedback. Like, I fed in the emails into chat, and it said, yes, the feedback is in line with the feedback that I have for your resume. Seemed real legit. And then he just said, it's not about your experience, it's just at this level you need some executive polish, and I can send you the name of a guy that I work with.
Oh.
So
to pay.
So we went back and forth. You get that little feeling,
Right. When you're about to be
scammed.
Yeah.
So I went back to the original emails, and I noticed he sent it to two emails, my current one, and then one that I had back when I lived in Arkansas. So like 7-8 years, it was a very dead email for sure, which was concerning.
So you knew you were on a list at that point.
Yeah, it was, that email it's not attached to my LinkedIn file like he said he found, and it's not. And I was like, well, maybe. So I went back and reviewed my LinkedIn. It's like, nope, it's not there. And then this guy, and I kept on feeding the emails into chat, and it was just like, there's some red flags, but here are the pros, here are the positives. It kept on kind of leading me down the path.
He's probably feeding it into chat too.
Well, yeah, because you could tell that, the emails, the language became very repetitive, and they were long, they were quick responses. So we finally got down to money, and the language was just weird. It said, if we proceed, my financial transaction guys will either create a link for you, or you can just do a wire transfer. And I was like, well, I don't wire transfer to no one except myself. I move money between different institutions, but you should never send a wire transfer unless you.
No. And there's no reason to do. LinkedIn's got its own AI that'll do like recruiting and stuff for you. So it's like you don't have to pay anybody anymore. So
and the upside is it did make me look at my resume a little bit closer. I did make some really valid updates, but the other red flag is like, I want 80% up front.
Yeah, fuck that.
But the price was reasonable. Like he listed out different packages, and I was like, I'm only interested in just polishing this resume for this position. and it fell within range of what you would pay, somewhere between $300 and $500.
Right.
But that wire transfer made me really go back, and I fed all the emails in all at
You
once.
shouldn't have to with chat. You shouldn't have to.
Well, I didn't remember which ones I'd put in and which ones I hadn't. So I just
So
wanted
I
to,
make a folder. What I do for all my history is I make a folder and I keep all versions of everything, and I actually put version numbers, and I tell on the prompt, I tell it, okay, this is version 1, or this is version 1.2, or this is whatever. And that's with coding, that's with everything. And you shouldn't, you should be fine. And then take the last 10, feed it in there and say, hey, polish this up. I'm looking for this job. I'm doing this and this and this.
Oh yeah, no, I've actually got 2 different job AIs. One that's out there doing
The searches.
the searches, and then one that takes the job description against the resume and then tweaks it for matches.
Yeah, I'm out of that ballpark now.
So you know,
That's awesome. I mean, good. I'm glad you caught it, and I'm glad you're bringing it up to people, because I mean that's a new scam. I didn't even. That's so legitimate businesses. They could use AI to attract you, push you over to somebody real, or are they?
Well, and that was the thing. That was the thing when I was feeding the emails in. I was just doing the body. So when I threw the whole header into it, it was like, oh, immediate red flag. It was displaying the correct corporate email,
Right.
but it was a Gmail account.
Oh, okay.
So he was masking the real one.
Oh, he was forwarding the real one to a Gmail.
So yeah, so I don't. The guy that I'm talking to, and I sent him a notification on LinkedIn,
gotcha.
and just said, hey, just so you're aware, it seems like your account's being spoofed and your company's being used to scam
gotcha.
people. Which is also a great way to introduce yourself. So I'm
Yeah.
really interested to see if
maybe you get a prospect out of it.
Yeah, no, because I mean the other thing I did, I was like comparing the job posting he sent me, and when I mean it had to be from the template had to be from that company legitimately, so they scraped it from somewhere.
Hi everyone. We are in a new age of, podcasts and media, and it's not by these big, huge conglomerate companies anymore. It's not by the huge studios. No, it's by like podcasters sitting at home, just like me. Hopefully you are too. Anyway, as part of this journey of creating Resilience Radio, I've been using a software by ElevenLabs. And what that software does is that it actually clones voices. You can use that for your podcast. You can use it for creating avatars. I know people are using avatars right now. You can use it for, I know some of my friends have books, and so you can make audio books with it. They have a little feature in there. Anyway, ElevenLabs is a really good software. It's really simple to use, and I'm putting a link in the description, and I hope it helps you too. Thank you. Oh, gotcha.
Because when I went to search, because like they left everything in, including the bottom half. If you're interested in this position, go to the Career Center. This is the job ID, and when I went and searched the job ID, nothing came up. So when I told him, hey, I'm not finding the job ID, he was like, oh, it hasn't been posted yet. I mean, I'm an executive recruiter.
Yeah, that's when you know it's
Yeah.
bullshit. I call bullshit.
Yeah. So live and learn. I didn't lose, like I said, I didn't lose any money.
Well, that's the main thing is you didn't lose any money.
Lost a little bit of time, but the upside is, and the kind of the funny thing is, it was legit, clear, and valuable critique of my resume, and I've made adjustments to it.
That's
so
good.
actually, I came out. I feel like I came out ahead. I lost a little bit of time, but
it's this AI thing, man. It's good and bad. It's good and bad.
yeah, I think the other one, the scam that started hitting my socials last week was around Zelle. And, Zelle, when they first launched, they positioned themselves as, hey, we work with the banks.
They're bank to bank. Did they change that?
So
I've lost a lot of stuff in the last few years.
They're independent of the bank, and they actually they provide a service like a SaaS service. So they actually there is no protection on your Zelle transfers. So it's not like transferring. It's not like a credit card transaction. So you got to be.
So it's a third party that worked with banks initially, and they've now branched out. They're still working with banks, but they're branched out from there.
Yeah, it was. I think the banks were in a position where PayPal and Venmo and all all the cash apps were out there taking transactional fees away from them. They didn't have a way to collect it. So collectively,
was bank to bank still free?
Is bank to bank still free? Yeah, I mean, there's no fee. Like I pay the lawn service through Zelle.
They're not taking anything out.
And they're not taking.
3 years ago, whenever I was using it, they weren't taking anything out bank to bank.
Yeah, no, it's not, and that's still kind of their hook, and Zelle has that. But like I said, you think that
it's tied into the bank.
Tied into the bank, and you get some of those banking protections, and they're not there.
Okay.
So like you can't. Once you send the money, it's gone.
Yeah, and I've been reading lately that banks are not backing a lot of false transactions now.
Yeah.
So
it's getting harder.
It's getting harder because they expect you to know when there's something fraudulent going on.
Yeah.
So,
which is kind of crazy. But I mean, I remember back in the day, it was especially with and credit cards still seem to be better. Like I still get alerts.
Yeah, credit cards, but a lot of that stuff. I don't know if credit cards are FDIC.
No, not necessarily.
They're not. Right.
They're not. And it gets into that really gray, fuzzy area when you talk about your debit card that is credit branded. So you can use your debit card as a Visa, but it's not a Visa transaction or it's not a MasterCard transaction.
Yeah,
and that's that you have less protection in that instance.
Well, what I do on that note, this is a great subject. Now, since I'm AI everything now, everything's AI, and so now what I do, those big long ass agreements, I scrape all of those agreements, I feed them into chat. I say, okay, give me a summary of anything that's a red flag on this. And boom, it pops out all those things. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much. I mean, that's huge because I didn't know about this. I didn't know about this. And before, that kind of gives you an idea. And all my phones have chat on it. They have both Gemini and chat on it. And so, amongst others, but that is a way to where you can see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you can decipher all that legal jargon, you can say, put it in layman's terms, and boop, it pops it all out for you so you understand what it's talking about.
Yeah, I do that. The other place I use that is if I attend any webinar or anything like that.
Oh, right.
I turn on my I open up a Word document, turn on dictate, and it captures the whole conversation. Then I take that conversation, I'll drop it in and say, give me a summary, give me key points, give me follow up. Right. So even, the thing about, especially anything free, is there is nuggets of important and good information.
Right.
But it's also, in the sea of upsell and marketing and all that.
Right. So you got to be able to decipher that, and you can use AI to decipher that.
Yeah.
And there's websites. So I transcribe YouTube videos. That's how I'm learning about all this stuff. And so I transcribe a video like a Joe Rogan. I'm not going to sit there and watch between 2 hours and 3 hours of a video just to get all the data. So sometimes what I'll do is I may watch the first 45 minutes and then I'll transcribe all of that and then feed it into my AI and say, okay, is there anything useful in this?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's got some hellacious good ideas. I mean, he's got some great people with great ideas on there. I just don't have the time sometimes to watch it. Of course, I go on marathons like I did yesterday, and I watched, 5 or 6 episodes, which was 2.5 hours each, on the average. So...
Yeah, I think I look at these tools, and I came across one the other day for learning. I was like, man, going to school would have been so much easier.
Oh, going to school is non-existent now.
So,
and people, on that subject, people are saying that AI is going to dummy down people. I don't believe that. Because my education level in the last 10 months has skyrocketed. I didn't use AI one time in 3 years ago. Come out and all of a sudden AI's everywhere, and it's like I stepped into the future. And then now I'm using it every single day for at least 8 hours a day. And I can tell you my education level has skyrocketed. Yeah. I mean, just on knowledge on anything. I mean, I can ask it anything. I don't even surf anymore. It's a waste of time. Yeah. It literally is a waste of time. Yeah. And I guarantee you I could run circles around people on, now that I know how to use AI. I mean, I'm a coder, I'm a lawyer, I've diagnosed a problem that wasn't diagnosed by doctors. Let me tell you something. But the downside of it is that people are losing their jobs because you don't need to know how to code anymore.
Yeah.
And it's scary. It is really scary. So, but
yeah, no, this one it was really cool because you could take any book, any PDF, any live lecture, drop it in there. It would create mini podcasts that you could listen to on the go. It would create
oh shit!
PowerPoint.
How much was that?
It was really reasonable. I mean, it was.
So, on that note, ElevenLabs is our sponsor. You can talking about that, you can take a PDF, you can take a book, you can take anything, you can clone your voice, and you can put it in ElevenLabs. Okay, there's my little spot. There's going to be an advertisement in this video, so. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So the other thing that it is, so it created a podcast of the information, so you could listen to it on the go. It create PowerPoint slides, so you could just flip through it. It created flashcards on key points.
Holy crap!
It created quizzes and tests that you could take over the information.
So you could automatically it makes flashcards and everything else like the old school way of doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So. It was, and we'll reach out to them. It's called Fetch. Fetch AI.
Okay.
But yeah, again, I haven't used it. I went through their demo.
Okay, cool.
And it was like, man, if this does what it says it does, yeah, maybe we're time to go back and pick up that master's or PhD.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to correct something I said last time, because I said that I was giving all those kudos to chat on coding and all that stuff I was saying last time. Yes, on basic programming with the basic service, but it can program pretty good. When you get in depth, like right now I'm writing a program, and this is another thing that's going to change the future, is that if you need something specific, you don't have to fucking buy it anymore.
Yeah.
You pay for a service. If you got time, you can literally build it. I am building it's not even using AI. I mean, it's using Whisper, which is one AI, but everything else to edit these videos. Since now I have my process flow down on how to edit, I'm literally now building a program. I had to go back to Gemini to build a program, and Gemini is with Google, guys, if you don't know. Google, if you pay the $20 a month, you get VO, you get the AI Studio, you get 5 terabytes, I believe, of storage space, and then obviously it comes with all of that stuff. I'm going to tell you a security risk with that, but later on in another video, I've got a security risk with it, but I still use it. I don't put anything out there, but using their software is the most reasonable AI studio I have found, other than ElevenLabs. ElevenLabs is actually really cheap for what they give you. But anyway, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, no, and Google has. I took a quick course in their visual AI. So you can go, and it's no coding, and you can train computer vision models. And there right now it's free for Google.
Oh, it's a Google platform?
It's a Google platform.
Oh, is it in the AI studio?
I would imagine it is. I'll have to go back.
I would imagine it is too.
But I took that.
And I just started, so I'm just watching the videos now. I've been using LTX Studios for my video automation stuff, and it's incredible, but it's super expensive. So I'm trying to figure out a reasonable, when you're broke, it's kind of,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And when I first got laid off, one of the ones I took was the Coursera.
Coursera. I've looked at Coursera.
So their 28-day challenge is free.
Yeah.
It's high level, but what's nice about it is it was like 28 different platforms.
That's awesome.
It takes you through prompting and logic and all that. So I mean, it was a good base. And then in there, one of their other free ones was no coding. Their no coding challenge, and that's where I found that Google.
Well, let me tell you that no coding, as long as you can think of all the different aspects of the program, the software, you don't need to know how to code. You just need to know how to talk to the AI to keep it in line to code.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
and this thing is like sneaky deceptive because yes, it gives you a valuable tool, but it's also helping them train their computer vision.
well,
So,
of course.
like my little project I did was be able to tell the difference between an apple and an orange. So I went and found 50 images of apples and 50 images of oranges
To train it.
All
Right.
and I put in there, and that went into their training model,
Well, of course.
So
I mean, that's what's
that's
happening
just
with
free.
all the models.
Exactly.
All
That's
the
we're
large
just
language
free labor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, every time you use it, it's training itself to get that more intelligent. We won't go through that again, but
anytime anything says free,
I know.
You are the product.
You are the product. Yeah.
So-
No shit. No shit. Yeah, we downloaded 42 LLMs already.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, and I'm still going. Every night when I go to sleep, I hit a button and it starts downloading. But yeah, I mean, some of these damn things are like 50 gigs, man.
Yeah.
There's some of them that are 120 gigs. Right now I've got an 8 terabyte drive that I'm
Filling
using.
up.
But man, I'll tell you what, but the cool thing is, here's why I'm downloading all these. Twofold, right? One, I'm scared that in the future, because you don't have the guardrails, when you download them, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
Anything. So, with that being said, I'm downloading them twofold. One, I'm downloading them so I have them. Two, I'm downloading them because Naomi I use multiple databases, and some of them are language models, some of them are audio models, some of them are, I don't know what you call the LLMs, that intelligence models. But basically, the reason why she's an omni LLM is because we're using all the strengths of all these different models, and then I don't have to train her. She's already up to speed, and then from there she'll learn. We're putting a database in to where she learns from those models.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And so anyway, that's but right now the key we're programming in right now is that video editing model, so that we can take these, when these turn into 2 hours long or 3 hours long, or hell, I've watched one that was 3.5 hours long, Joe Rogan had. I'm using him as a model because I mean he's so successful that but one of the things I learned on one of his podcasts is he does this. He's got some software that they're using where they drop this shit in there and it's doing it for him. So I'm trying to figure that out. Well, I'm making one.
Yeah.
Basically with what I learned from him by watching him and modeling him, that's what I've learned. So anyway.
So there's if you haven't gone and looked at what Glenn Beck has been doing.
I haven't.
So he,
Actually, you're the second person. My brother just told me about Glenn Beck.
So I mean, he was a commentator for Fox, definitely right wing leaning, not but he has built both a physical and he's building a digital library, and he built an AI librarian named George. But it will, it'll go and find
Digital books?
Digital books, but
digital. Oh, like his own search engine.
Yeah, well, on steroids, definitely an AI, but he's went and invested some big money and bought up historical documents, he's scanned all those things in, and really a proponent about learning your history so you can prevent some of the ongoing things. But
right.
Yeah, he launched a full AI service out of his media company.
Cool.
And I think he's a great storyteller.
I watched him for about 10 minutes the other day because Robert, they came over for Mother's Day, and he was telling me about Greg Beck, and then I came up here and watched him for about 10 minutes, and I got busy, and my ADD kicked in, and then I didn't watch him. But yeah, I'll definitely put him on my list to. But he does a lot of. He's not doing podcasts, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, he started his own media company. It's Blaze.
Blaze Media.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, he started as an on-air news entertainer guy, and then when he left that, he made a big deal. When he was leaving, he was pretty transparent that he was going to go start his own thing,
right?
And that turned into Blaze, which started off the podcast, and then he's also funding other podcasts under his media company.
Gotcha. Okay.
But like I said, I think he's a good storyteller, and
that's the key, right?
Yeah,
that is the key.
You go old school. You can go and find where people have converted the old Paul Harvey, the rest of the stories.
Oh yeah,
man, I can go down a serious rabbit hole just listening to his stories.
Right. That's it.
So that's something that when I think about training in AI, it's like improving their storytelling is a big deal. So
right. That is a podcast. That was one of the podcasts I watched because I've heard so many negative things about what's the guy with chat? What's his name again?
Oh,
younger guy. Anyway, he was on the other day. I'm so bad with names, and I apologize if you're seeing this, but I admire your work. Basically he was saying all kinds of stuff about you gonna look him up for me real quick? I didn't bring a phone again. Hey guys, how do you like my my drink? I use a mason jar. One, I'm in the South, but two, it when you put the lid on it, it keeps tea fresh.
Was it Sam Altman?
Sam Altman. Sorry, Sam, if you see this. But I use your product like every freaking day. It's my primary, and then secondary is Gemini for coding. So that'll make you feel good. But yeah, it is. He was very informative the other day, and I'll tell you what. I don't know why so many people are giving him such a damn hard time. I think there's a phobia, an AI phobia out there, and that's the reason why. Because I listened to the guy, and he sounded super intelligent, super. He had all the right answers. The one thing that was asked was the fact, do you think this is going to kill us? And I'm in agreement with him. I think we're going to evolve, is what I think. I think as humans we're going to evolve. Yes, it's going to take a shit ton of jobs. Yes, it's going to, just like the train, and just like the typewriter, and just like the computer. I mean, there's jobs, but we as humans evolve so fast. And that was one of his main points, was bringing out all the different versions of AI, was the fact that we evolve with it. We get it faster. Now, like I said, I stepped out of jail 2.5 years later, and it was like I stepped into the future. I mean, I'm like a pig in shit right now, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm a coder, I'm a lawyer, and I've used it from chat's point of view. When I was going up against the government, from a legal standpoint, if I didn't have chat, they had a whole legal team. These fucking departments with the state of Texas had whole legal teams that were sending me emails, sending me all this, sending it over to the Attorney General's office. I could literally take the responses and either take a picture of it or scrape it from the email, put it in chat, and it could literally give me back the answers. And it corrected some of this one lawyer that wrote me. It said there's never been case law on that, blah 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 blah, and you can't state that. And they were like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I mean, you literally now have the power. If you're using this stuff, you literally have the power of a team of people instantaneously, and it's super powerful. And now I can code in any language that's out there. I can make all the apps that I'm wanting to make. You still need warm bodies because it's time, right? That's the variable, is time. But the intelligence, I've been in IT for 30 years. I have a concept of what I wanted to do, but in order for me to do it, I was going to have to go out and hire all these people to do it. I could handle the project management. I could handle all that. But now my coders are AI.
Yeah.
Gemini. Or whatever the latest model that comes out.
Yeah,
So-
we're seeing that. I mean, and that was the whole thing with my wife's company, was she was spending a lot of time. I was like, let's get you some agents.
Yeah.
And we didn't build from scratch. We used a product,
Right.
Sinatra, but it's
Are
12.
you happy with it?
Very happy with it. So it's 12 different
That's
agents.
the one with the little goofy faced
Yeah,
agents, right?
they're like
have,
in spacesuits.
cartoon agents
Yeah.
or whatever. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, they're her marketing agent cranks out daily media posts.
Of course. And it's time.
Yeah, and that's time. So what used to take her, she would spend 2 hours to get a post out
Right.
across all the platforms. Now she spends 2 hours with her agent, and that's 30 days of posts.
That's incredible.
Or more,
Yeah,
or
that's
more,
incredible.
and it's getting better.
Right.
Every time she uses it, it learns.
All of them are.
Yeah.
They're getting so good and so fast. And the people that are anti AI, that are not using it, I'm watching people that are saying, "Oh, I haven't used it yet." I'm like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, and this is one place where I think your approach to Naomi will really help, is because she's actually looking at the screens and the elements. So one of the things,
You know why I did that, don't you? I'll tell you why I did it.
hopefully part of it was because I told you, hey, that'd be really that'd be really cool.
The other reason why is because robots, Gemini, that robots are built into the search engines. Robots are built into all these things. Naomi can circumvent that because she actually sees the screen and she's using the keyboard and mouse. She's not using the built-in on these computers. She's not using the built-in browsers for robots. So they can't block her out of seeing certain things on the internet. That's the reason why, the main reason why I did it. The other reason why is she's controlling, remember last time I said slaves? I still haven't looked it up. So master and slave is the old school way of, there is another term. I don't know what the hell it is. But anyway, she has slaves out there that she controls that are part of her. They communicate with her. It's part of her system. But they're like a manager, and I guess manager and employees would be another great way to for an analogy. But they have a task, and then they're doing that task repetitively, and they report back to her, and they can actually, since they see the screen and they're using it, if in fact that task changes, we call them skills, and Naomi has skills. So that skill, if they can't see, like for instance, most computers will break if that button, and a lot of AIs are doing this now, they move that box around the screen.
Yeah.
So your initial screen, and a lot of times with chat, for instance, it's in the middle of the screen. And this is the reason why she started also seeing screens. It's in the middle of the screen. Well, once you start typing, that box moves to the bottom of the screen. And that does it with Gemini. It does it with all of them. They do that. That was another problem, is that she was seeing that box. She was looking all around, and then she recorded that area. She's looking at pictures. She's not looking at... So she's looking for that button, or she's looking for that oval box or whatever. And then when that box moves, now, obviously I've programmed some logic into her to say, okay, well, typically that box moves down here and the XY coordinates are here. So look here and see if it's there. And if not, then go over here and then go over here. You know, we're looking all throughout and recording the XY coordinates. And then if that box moves in the future, refer back to those XY coordinates for that. Anyway, I don't want to get too damn technical, but that's what, going back to, where were we? Fuck, I went down a rabbit hole.
using AI agents and
AI agents. So AI agents, this is the way of the future. Like NAN, I think, is one of them that everybody's using. The other one is Zapier.
Yeah,
Zapier is a big one. I was researching all of these. I started using them before I made Naomi because I wanted to understand what people were using. And then I just think it's too complicated for people. I want something that you can literally say, hey, go to this website and do this and this and this. It takes that audio and then it transcribes it. And then from it transcribing it, puts it into a database. And then that agent actually works. And then the master gets all that data back. And then you've got all these little dudes running around doing all this stuff, you know, and they can run on any computer. I've got the shittiest computers in the world right now that you brought me that, you know.
Yeah.
That.
No, I mean, master slave, I mean, we went through that at Walmart where we tried to drive that out of the nomenclature. And there's just some places it's so embedded into the architecture and the industry that even if you change, and you know, Walmart's not small.
Right.
We're big,
of course not.
big company.
Right. They're a good company.
Yeah.
I contracted for them too. I love Walmart.
So, you know, in the world of data architecture, there's a term master data.
Right.
And it is, you know, that's your, and they had, you know, they did a review and we went back and forth and we tried to switch it over to primary, secondary, tertiary.
Why don't we back up real quick? Why don't you tell everybody what you did for Walmart so that they understand where you're coming from? How long did you work for
So just over 20 years.
That's
with-
incredible.
with
And
Walmart.
then you actually started off in one of the stores
Yeah, so I started out
at Sam's, though.
at Sam's Club.
Right.
So division of Walmart,
Okay.
three big divisions. Walmart proper, which is basically U.S.
Right.
Then Sam's opened, and then international.
So you went to Sam's.
And I worked for Sam's. I started off physical club. It was interesting because I'd been a manager for Sears and Gateway Computers, and when I went to Sam's,
Gateway.
yeah, back when, they're still kicking around.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
They're still out there?
Yeah, primarily overseas, but in the U.S. they still have a pretty significant server.
You worked off the one off 183, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I remember that. I remember that now.
Yeah, when they hired me, we were supposed to build a second store, and they hired me to run that store that never opened.
That is, oh my God.
But
I remember that now that you say that. The freaking cow boxes.
Yeah,
They'd be in competition with
Dell, and that was a great story. It was, Dell and Gateway started approximately the same time, and Gateway
they were compact, but they went to compact, right?
Gateway no.
No, they didn't go to compact.
No.
Oh, okay. That's
So
another one that's non-existent anymore.
They were actually growing. They were actually growing faster than Dell. They were the bigger company, and then Ted Waite, the founder, hippie
Yeah.
guy. I mean, came to my store.
Oh, you met him?
Yeah. He came.
Oh,
he
wow.
came into my store. Shorts, flip flops, ponytail. Wanted to get stoned out behind the.
Did he live in Austin?
No. He lived up in the Midwest. I
Oh,
mean,
he did?
The whole cow thing. He started that instead of a garage. He started it on his family farm.
Oh,
So that's where the whole cow thing was. But he was a hippie and he wanted to be a philanthropist. So he stepped away from Gateway and went and pursued his thing. I mean, he was rich. He didn't care.
Right.
Michael continued to drive the company and built it into Dell, which is was a monster.
Oh, so Michael Dell worked for?
No, they were in competition, but
okay.
as the companies were growing, they both had their founders. They were both doing it, and when Ted stepped away is when Dell really continued
Took
its
off.
focus and was
Trying
able to
remember
capture.
what propelled Dell. I can't recall. I mean, I remember the scandal. I can't remember. Yeah, but the big thing with him was the fact he was doing it in his dorm room, right?
Yeah, he started while
At
he was a
UT.
student at UT, and
Yeah.
and now he's just funded their new medical school, and
Yeah, I saw a bunch of stuff where, he's doing a lot of philanthropy, and so he
Yeah.
does a lot here in Austin, so it's awesome.
yeah, no, it's and and again, he had the same idea. They just had different timing, and the timing's what kind of drove Gateway into its little.
Let me
thing.
just in case somebody sees this that knows about Dell, you know this story. So we used to, before he owned that property where he lives now, it's a huge, and I've been there. I installed his safes. I wasn't supposed to say that, so don't sue me, Dell. But anyway, because they had this whole security thing, you're not supposed to say shit about it. And I haven't told anybody where they are, what they are, or anything like that. But anyway, that property is where Austin High, we used to go to. It's on the high road, and it's a beautiful piece of property, but we used to party our asses off up there on his property before he bought it. Every time I pass by there and I see his gates, I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome. You'll never see, unless you know it's there, you don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
So he's got 3 entrances, and it's hard to tell that it's his property, but anyway.
Yeah, and talk about rabbit holes. So back to this. So I went to work for Sam's Club.
Oh yeah, Sam's.
And they put me into their management training program, even though I'd been a manager for big companies and all this.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool. And I still to this day, people are like, well, what was your favorite thing? I was like, the favorite thing I learned is they taught me how to drive a forklift.
I love driving forklifts.
So, yeah, it's they are impressive pieces of machinery.
Oh yeah, all different kinds.
Yeah, and you don't realize that forklift you see running up and down the aisles, that weighs more than any car out there in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, of course.
You can I got hit by one.
You did?
Yeah, we had this young kid. I was working overnight, and he was running pallets of water out, and he didn't hit his horn as he came around the corner.
Oh shit.
And I saw it, and my instincts, thankfully, were right. I just jumped up and kind of bawled, and I hit the side of that water pallet, and thankfully, water's those bottles have a little bit of give.
Bounced right off.
But I bounced off. Yeah. Bounced off and rolled down the floor without any serious injury. But yeah, learning to drive forklifts was a fun thing. But yeah, I spent 3 or 4 years in the clubs. Ended up in Corpus Christi, actually, where I met my wife.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. I went to the coast. I think I was spending a week down there with that girl, and. Yeah, I remember that. Because you were working... Yeah, you lived down there.
Yeah,
I met y'all. Is that the first time I met Sylvia?
Yeah. Yeah, that would have
Yeah. God, I didn't even... Man, that's been... How many years y'all been married?
We've been married 9.
You were together for
We were together,
really long
yeah.
time.
I mean, I met her 18 years ago.
That's incredible. That's been 18 freaking years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just started down there, or maybe you'd been down there for a while or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was supposed to get transferred up to one of the San Antonio stores, so it was just like, hey, just casual, someone to go have dinner with, someone to just hang out with, nothing, and maybe that's how the relationship worked out. There was no real pressure because I was leaving.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then I ended up spending 2 more years in Corpus, and then I moved to I took a job in the home office and moved to Bentonville, Arkansas. Spent years there.
So you were on the team, or part of the team, or part of something that had to do with this delivery system, right?
Yeah, so when I went to Arkansas, I went into replenishment, so supply chain replenishment. And I did that for several years, and then I moved into e-commerce. And one of the projects I worked on in the early stages was the idea of scan and go.
Scan and go. That's right. Now that's with Sam's, right?
It's with Sam's. Walmart's still trying to roll out an effective version. So there was a technology gap. And there just wasn't the bandwidth, and personal phones not everyone at that time was fully converted over to smartphones. So Walmart went down a path, and Sam's went down a path. We stuck with application and worked on improving infrastructure. So in club Wi-Fi. Walmart actually developed a handheld scanner, and there was a big bank of them. As you walked in, you would pick up a scanner.
Yeah. Probably a Symbol device, I would think. Was it a Symbol or something like Symbol?
It was, I think it was Zebra.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
Zebra does a lot of printers.
Yeah, they do a lot of printers, and they do a lot of barcode scanners.
Okay.
And I think it was them.
Yeah, they did.
At least they were one of the prototypes.
Old school, they did labels. Yeah, they probably do have some kind of device. I would think if you'd make the printing, they were big on the barcode stuff. We used them for the little Zebra printers, but
yeah, it was Zebra and Telzon.
Never heard of Telzon.
So Telzon was had the major contract, but yeah, so that we basically, when you get into that scale, you get to try everybody because everyone wants to work with you. So there were several different prototypes. They rolled it out. It was just wasn't cost effective. People broke the scanners. People took the scanners home. People,
Right.
there are a lot of things. So there's a big advantage to having the application on
Sure.
on a phone.
Sure.
So
Now phones have everything. I mean, you can even get phones now with RFID.
yeah,
So, I mean, and that's radio frequency identification badges. It's basically, for the non-techies out there, it's basically a way that you can do inventory. You can do IDs. Like when you see the people that have their picture on a identification, it swipes, and it also does, your chip on your, I don't know, is that considered, I don't think that's there's RFID in it.
yeah.
In most credit cards now, but I don't know if that chip, I don't think it's considered RFID. But anyway, that's what that is.
Yeah, no, it's still an RFID. There's about five major classes of RFID,
Okay.
and as you can tell, I nerded out. I nerd
You
out
had
on
to
data.
nerd out a little bit.
But so I went into replenishment, then I ended up in e-commerce, and the company brought in. His name's Jamie Ione, now runs eBay, to kind of take samsclub.com in a new direction, and was very, very fortunate. Only 10 of us in the entire team got offers to move out to California, and only 4 of us went. But I went out to California and worked on the platform, and my specialty, because I'd worked in clubs and replenishment and supply chain, I got tasked into a whole bunch of different projects because I had frontline experience. I was kind of a unicorn. Not a lot of people in the office had actually worked in a physical location. So very fortunate.
That's awesome.
And my role became kind of this end to end. So almost any project, they would have to come to me, and I would do initial reviews and doing that. I got to go up and work with the app teams.
That's awesome.
In our Seattle office, but one of the apps.
That's a lot of experience, man.
Yeah, no, it was no, I packed a lot into 20 years. So we worked on this idea of how do you strip down the application to work on a phone, because it
Right.
can't be big, and they're actually testing one now.
Well, phones are so fat now, though.
Well, but you can go in to a location, and without loading the full application, you can use a beacon technology. It actually uses light waves, and it puts a light version of the application for one-time use. So you're not actually loading the whole application and the whole process, and
You're doing a light version, and then it replaces with an update the full version, because they're going to want the full version out there.
Well, and that's the whole thing. Yes, it's a gateway, but for people, I don't want to load something.
Sure.
I don't want another application.
I don't want to wait.
I don't want to wait. It's like
if it has slow Wi-Fi, that is genius.
You
man.
basically open up the camera, you put it under this light, and the light is actually pulsing where you can't see it, and it's passing a whole language into your phone.
Well, you got to approve it.
You have to approve it. You have to know it's happening. So
Right.
beacon technology.
That has to be like our. No, it's.
No, it's.
Is it using the camera?
It's using.
It must be using the camera.
Yeah, it's using the camera, and it became possible with LED lighting. So the LED lighting can put those code pulses
very fast
into it.
Okay.
So you can,
It's got to repeat it though. So it's got to.
Yeah, it's on constant repeat.
Oh, okay.
And there, you can use it for marketing. So you walk up to a display and you have your phone in your hand, and your phone picks up the information, and it'll pop a whole ad.
What's it, like infrared or something, to where you can't see that spectrum?
It is a non-visible spectrum, but it is built into the light itself. So it's not an additional. It's basically you can put this into.
So they have the regular backlight, and then the backlight. There's another light that's flashing.
Yeah. So if you think of your LED pixel
Right.
structure, there's
Right.
just there's another node.
There's another node right there that you
Yeah.
can't see, but
That you can't.
the phone can see. Do you have to put your phone? Oh, I guess it would be kind of like the QR codes. You'd have to. It would have to be.
You have to.
It'd have to be activated, right?
Yeah, and this is where it gets kind of into the sketchy part.
All right. Well, we
know,
don't know about it, but I'm gonna look it up because that's cool.
There's a reason a lot of people put tape over their cameras.
Yeah,
because they can
like me.
They can be turned on. they can be turned on.
Are you making fun of me in a roundabout way?
No, I don't think people realize how often your camera actually turns on. And
Well,
if
let me
these
tell you
signals
something. When I'm using, because I'm kind of generic right now, and I'm constantly downloading the videos from these phones. It takes pictures on an iPhone. Most of the time when we're doing this, it's taking pictures along with taking video.
Yeah.
I never see those pictures, because I'm using Linux to go in the back end to pull these videos. Those pictures are there, and I've never seen those pictures before on the phone itself. So where the hell do they go? What are they doing? I don't know, but ever since I went through all that trauma, I've been a little paranoid. So
yeah, and that's kind of this beacon technology is in this evaporative layer, so it doesn't. The reason you don't see them, it's not being stored. They can be transmitted, which gets into the privacy.
There's a send and receive functionality that if they put a camera in these TVs, most of the TVs have cameras now, for general reasons, but for like moving around and shit like that. But
no, the camera. The whole TV thing. We'll get into.
Yeah, well, we don't want to get into. We'll scare the shit out of people. If people knew that their TVs can, the CIA's got a way of reversing the speakers in these things to where people could actually be recorded. So
yeah, well, I mean,
I've been reading reports and watching stuff lately. So
yeah, the eye scan technology, what you're actually looking at, how they can do product. There's going to be a next generation of adaptive pictures, so that product placement will no longer be static, just like you talked about that box starting at the middle and moving to the bottom. It will eventually, there'll be enough data transfer where it's going to move that product into your vision multiple times.
Yeah,
so
retina tracking,
you get
and
more.
then I could see that. That's a good. I mean,
you don't realize, and
right.
It's subconscious. You don't realize how many times you've seen it, and
right.
That
because
number
you're not
of
consciously thinking.
You're not consciously thinking about it, but the more
next
times,
time you go on Amazon, though, you end up going, you know what? I saw that somewhere. I saw that shit somewhere.
And that was one of the fun things that came out of a hackathon. Was we actually built one of the teams, and not my thing. They're smart guys.
Went to DEF CON or something.
So we sponsored every year or twice. We tried to do it twice a year, but every year we would do a hackathon, and it was open to our internal employees. Hey,
okay.
Build us something. No budget, no just time. There's prizes at the end, but one of the teams built. Basically, you could use your remote, and when a commercial was running, any product in there, you could instantly add it to your cart. It would open up the website
On a smart TV.
No.
Huh?
So it was.
It had to be a smart TV.
So it was connecting. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was a smart.
It was smart TV
because it was connected to the phone. It would connect to the phone.
Like this, they probably embedded it into the memory, like how this is displayed right now. They probably embedded it into the memory of somewhere in that chipset. Well,
so it was, like I said, it was
That's
pretty
cool, though.
It was pretty snazzy because, say, it was just our, even if it was a commercial that we like co-sponsored, like for an event or something like that.
Right.
Or even if it was a regular commercial, even if we weren't advertising it, everything in that thing we sold. So, we're selling hot dogs and grills and outdoors.
Right.
But you can't put prices and everything on every description. With this thing, you could say, oh, that's a really cool patio set, and boom, you had all the information on the patio set. You could actually order it, even though that's not what the commercial was for. We weren't specifically
it sounds like a knit.
So
The government uses knits, and on video, was it on a video?
yeah.
So on a video, if you run a knit, it can like porn. They do this with porn all the time. They put viruses inside the porn video, and when you run that video, it actually will download a virus to the machine. So if you're using VPN, it doesn't matter because they know it pings back home that information. And so it's telling the MAC address and everything about that. So, yeah, that sounds like the same technology they were using. Somebody figured out how they were doing that. It's like a virus is what it is. But it may not store itself or do anything malicious on your machine until you go to the website. The website may actually look for those and then clear that back off again. Unlike the FBI, it stays on your machine until they come and get you. But that's how they're busting people.
Exactly. So anyway, I ended up in California.
Yeah.
Started working on the e-commerce platform, and then kind of transitioned. And that's when we kind of fully adopted product as a discipline and a vertical. And I was moved into that. So product managers, basically, we act as a translator between engineering and business customers, kind of take ideas and convert them into solutions. But our goal is to look at problems a little bit deeper. So we have kind of time, which is the biggest advantage, but we look at solutions. So if someone comes to me and says, oh, I want a new web page, it's like, okay, we have a conversation about what are you trying to accomplish?
Right.
And then you tie that into, well, other areas have a similar problem. Can we group those together? And you build more robust solutions so you get more bang out of your buck for your ROI. So you're not just supplying a new web page.
Right.
Now you're supplying a suite that allows the business to put in multiple applications that then can be translated into engineering, and we can go faster.
What did you, out of all this, because you're not a techie, so what did you learn that, I mean, not necessarily just with technology, but with people or anything, what was like some of the biggest things that you learned about that you had no idea about?
So I learned, and over time I learned a lot about architecture. And
interesting. Architecture?
Yeah, data architecture.
Oh, data architecture. I was like sitting there going, what the fuck are you rebuilding buildings? What are you?
And system architecture, data architecture. And part of that was,
So you did learn techie.
Yeah, no, I definitely,
Tech.
There's a division within product. There's non-technical and technical.
Yeah.
Technical product managers generally are engineers. So they were engineers, they were architects, but they're that niche group. I don't want to talk badly about engineers, but most computer coders.
They're different.
They're different. It's a different skill set. It's,
very analytical, very slow to talk, very, they don't want to make a mistake when they
generally introverts.
Right.
Generally don't. It's just thinking on a different level, so it's hard for them to connect. That's
sure
kind of one of the roles of product is I have to translate between these two worlds.
Sure.
So I did have to become highly technical. So I wasn't in engineering, but I understood. I had to learn a lot of principles about data architecture and interoperability and all those things, because otherwise I was just handing it over. And I also went from a world that in development, it used to be called waterfall. And basically
the type of
type of project management.
Right.
And it required basically you had to think of everything and put it into this documentation to be coded. And the world quickly adopted what's called Agile, where you do smaller pieces.
Sure.
You write more in you give the engineer more flexibility to help them solve the problems. You state things like, as a user, I want to do this to accomplish this, rather than I want a taskbar at the top. That taskbar needs to have 3 buttons. The first button should be this, the second button should be this, the third button should be this. When the user clicks the first button, and I used to have to write that kind of document.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's the kind of granularity that you need when you're talking to an AI, is that type of project management basically is what it is.
Yeah.
That way, I mean, you can do it from a higher point of view, but if you get that granular, you get a better product.
But so I had a fun one. I was one of my first products was a tire finder. So how do you
was a what?
Tire finder?
Oh, okay.
For car tires, because we were having difficulty selling tires on the website. It's easy when you go into a club, you have an associate that can walk out, look at your tires, all that. So we did the whole thing. I launched that. One of my counterparts was building an ink cartridge finder.
Okay.
Same kind of thing. Just really an advanced search in this case.
But it was going through multiple stores, or just in that store?
So it was for the website, but it would also look at all 600 locations. It could geolocate.
Okay.
All those things.
Now, with the store, I don't know if you can tell me this or not, but do the stores sell product outside of those stores? Well, now they do, don't they? They actually have the lockers and everything now, so they can actually go and pull product and sell it in store, and then people either pick it up, or now the delivery service is the way to go.
You pushed me down, thought I'd stay on the ground, counted me out like the numbers didn't matter. But pressure builds diamonds in the dark, and I've been sharpening my edge in the chatter. Every scar turned into strategy, every setback fueled my clarity. I took the hits, learned the game, turned my losses into flame. Now I'm coming back strong, and you'll remember my name. I'm rising through the fire, breaking every wall you built around me. Heart's a battle drum, beating louder, a force you'll never drown. See, this is my return, my moment, my power. I'm rising, yeah, I'm rising through the fire.
I had a wonderful weekend.